Look, and I'm telling them I'm going to film now. And watch me get another text saying, okay. But you should just shut the fuck up. Hello, welcome back to Lloyd and JD, the best fucking podcast in the world. I'm Lloyd.
I'm JD.
What's up, dude?
Oh, not too much.
I am back for another shooting of Lloyd and JD podcast.
Yep. This is, I think, episode 23 or something like that of the second
I
series.
was warm with the hood up, but I have to for a little bit. It's cold today.
You got to warm up. It's gone
it went from like plus
30 to like 2.
Nothing. It's so cold.
Now it's so cold. It's crazy.
It takes a while to get your winter body back.
Yeah.
Because like halfway through the winter, minus 30 is like,
yeah,
killing it. But and then like when you come out of winter and spring, plus 10's like, oh yeah, shorts and
weather.
t-shirts.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like plus 10 right now, and I feel like I'm in.
Yeah, it's funny how you acclimatize to the weather like that. I mean, I know in the middle of winter, like -5 or like 0, it's like, holy shit, this is great.
Yeah.
But right now, it's too cold. It's too cold.
I actually don't like the Schnook days.
No?
Well, because for me, like when everything dies in winter, I prefer it to be snowy at least. Yeah. Because it's beautiful and it makes sense. Yeah. But then when we get those Schnook days, you just realize how dead and depressing everything is, and grey, and there's salt everywhere and gravel, and it doesn't look very nice, and everything's brown and
which is ironic because it's been brown all summer, and then it got really, really cold, snowed, and now my grass is green. Yeah. So
because it got a bit of water.
Yeah, exactly.
I snowed up here in Mordor.
It did.
Okay, it did not snow down by my house. It rained.
Yeah.
See,
little sleety snow. Yeah.
That's how far away we are. You get snow, I get a little drizzle.
The northern country versus the southern country.
Literally, 20-minute drive.
Yeah, it's Calgary's weird for that. You know?
Well, we live on the plains, so everything kind of spreads out, and
well, and Calgary, I mean, it's like 20 plus kilometers from my place to your place, so I mean, it's a long haul. So
I finally went on VidMe and I watched our videos.
Oh, good.
And realized that we were on VidMe.
Yeah,
and we're a feature.
Yeah, we were featured creator. We cracked.
You do have to subscribe on YouTube to watch some of our videos. I noticed that. And VidMe is fucking hard to use.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone else has the same issues I had. Maybe I'm so used to other apps, that the new app, and just working it. I couldn't find like how to search just for someone. I couldn't even find my own fucking page. So and right off the bat, when you get the list, it's like you're featured. I went down, Lloyd and JD. I was like, sick. So I clicked on us as to follow us, and then from that point on, I had no clue how to like actually go to our videos. It didn't show me like who I was following, which I thought was weird. Maybe there is a way to find that, but I just couldn't find it. Yeah. So
they keep on changing things. I mean, they're very new, and they're learning as they go, and they keep on developing stuff. But I mean,
I need a new phone though. I don't have enough data to actually have the app on my phone.
Right. So you gotta delete it all.
And I'm due a new phone.
Yeah.
So I gotta go into TELUS and upgrade.
So you're gonna get like the iPhone 10.
What is there now? I was advised not to get the X.
Oh, okay.
Apparently it's fucking shady when it comes to conspiracy theory shit, which obviously I stay the fuck away from.
Right.
I try to, even though I know people who are gonna comment that you can watch my phone any minute. They can pretty much turn my phone on if they like, even if it's off. I know that. I know by having an iPhone, I'm already fucked.
Yeah.
But I prefer not to be ultra fucked. And I heard the new 10. Is that what it is? Then the 10.
Yeah.
XV is Roman numerals or some shit. Everyone's
X.
Oh, is that what it's called? X. Oh, I heard it was like some X 10. Something. Oh, okay. Yeah. My bad. Don't know Roman numeral.
Yeah. XV would be 15.
Okay. Well, I'm sure we'll get there.
We will.
But I was just like facial recognition.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't even get the word out. And it can like recognize you out of like hundreds of thousands of faces, and there's all this other crazy shit going on. Apparently there was even like some high up dude in a company doing a summit about how it's kind of corrupt. This phone is kind of like, don't buy it.
Yeah, I mean, biometric stuff has been around for a long, long time. So I mean, it's nothing new. I mean,
it's scary as we move forward. I guess everything's scary.
I mean,
and the government's so shady.
Accumulate data.
I guess if we had a brilliant government and like everything was open and out on the table, it wouldn't be so shady, and it would be like sharing data. It would be a magical thing with some of the things that they're bringing out. The way we can share data and be interactive with people, and make friends this way and that way, and find people this way, that way. But the fact that our government's so fucking shady and that there's so much shit is hidden and so much technology is like below the radar, and there's all this, you know, thousands of documents. There's a funny little quote on Facebook that I saw by Anonymous, and it was like, back in the 80s, something came out about like MK Ultra and the world went crazy. He's like, this year alone, there was like 30,000 fucking emails that were pulled by like from the CIA, just talking about how they monitor us through like certain things like cable TV, certain things like this.
Right.
And it's proof right there in front of their face, and no one gave a shit.
Yeah.
No one even, and it's funny, it showed a picture of like a bunch of indie kids, you know, like the new age kids, and it was all like everyone was on their phone, no one gave a fucking shit. And it's true, like we've had more evidence this year that the government are doing some real, whether you believe in conspiracy theories or not, and obviously the word conspiracy theory makes people go, oh my god, you're crazy.
Yeah.
Fuck the word conspiracy theory, whether you believe in that shit or not. If you get a fucking email that's giving you this proof that's been hacked and drawn out of their accounts, that's like, listen, this is it, lay it out in front of you, this is what's going on, why the fuck wouldn't you?
Like I said, I think there's sometimes too much information, and that it gets lost in the noise, right? So, I mean, what's real and what's not real is sometimes hard to decipher. But that shit happened.
People should investigate that. Look at that shit. Look at those emails.
I mean, there's definitely control, and there's definitely government control. A good example of that is North Korea shot a missile over Japan into the sea. They've been trying to blow up Guam and stuff like that, but I mean, that's another story altogether. But anyways, when this missile gets launched over Japan, basically Japan went into a panic. So it got shot over northern Japan, and there was a guy that was vlogging, and basically, you know, the alarms went off, like the air raid sirens and all that kind of stuff. And he's sitting there and he's talking. He's like, I can't believe this. I'm just up here. I'm hiking. I'm looking, you know, most people, all they have to worry about up here in northern Japan is bears. But, you know, this has been going on all morning. And all of a sudden, his TV turns on by itself. And it's like saying, there's a missile launch, all this kind of, it's all in Japanese. And he's like, I didn't even know they could turn on my TV.
Exactly.
And he turned it off, and it turned itself back on. Like, it wasn't going
it's simple things like that you need to take seriously, because if they're doing little things like that, what are the mass scale things that they're doing? What are what is their ultimate goal with this? Why is there such you know, control? Why is there, you know, and these are the questions that I feel need to be answered, whether you believe in conspiracy theories or not, because people need to start realizing that in this day and age, we have evidence that there's some shit going on. Yeah. And with things like the new technology that are coming out, all these companies are sponsored by government. All these companies, you know, they're allowed to make their product and put their product out in the market because they follow certain guidelines that they have to be given by government. And it's fucking scary. Yeah. Because, you know, what are they putting in these devices that we don't know? And the higher we get up in the devices, the more I'm fucking scared. I didn't want to go past 4S, and I was forced to, and that bugged me too, is that you're forcing me to move on. Like, why can't I keep an outdated phone? Like, I don't understand. That doesn't make sense to me that they won't allow me to keep an outdated phone.
I think it depends on what you want to do. I think you can still
no, I was told they don't make the 4S in the store. I can't.
No, like, I mean, companies like Apple are going to progressively move their products forward. I'm on a 5S, for example. Eventually, the software will stop working. But
the price doesn't like stay that. Like, that's my argument.
No, the price is absolutely ridiculous.
So now I'm going from like what I wanted to spend in a phone. Now I have to spend like $1,000, and I have to go on plan.
It's for something like $1,500 for this bloody thing. So
it just doesn't make sense to me.
I'm 5 generations behind. So I like I said, I'm on a 5. We're at 10.
I'm on a 5.
Although they missed 9, so I'm 4 behind.
I'm also on a 5.
Yeah. So I mean, really, in the scheme of things,
my girlfriend's on a 7, I believe,
matter.
And it's like so much bigger than mine. It's unbelievable. It's like a fucking iPad.
But what I'm saying is, you can still, if you want to be basic about stuff, you can still do things to do that. Like, I mean, you can still go get a flip phone and just run on a flip phone and all that kind of stuff.
But if you're running with an iPhone, you are still fucked.
Yeah, because that company is going to progressively move things forward, and they're going to want to bring you with you. So they just stop supporting your device,
and they can turn on your phones and listen to your shit whenever they want, and nothing. You're not safe from anything.
And to me, that's a little scarier than government control, is corporate control. Somebody that's not even really, you know, you have no say in what they do whatsoever, right?
No. So, you know, I feel like people need to look at the evidence of that more. And
but the Japanese thing, I'll try to dig it up and send it to you, or put the link below. It was kind of interesting because the TV just pops on, and it's not like when they sell you a TV, they say, "Hey, by the way, we can control that. We can turn it on. We can pump. You know, you were watching, you know, NBC. Now you're watching our broadcast." I mean, obviously they do, you know, something like what happened in Japan was for safety reasons, but it just shows you how much stuff they can do that people really don't know.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think a lot of things need to fucking change because I think we're a lot smarter and wiser now, but we're not using it.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking annoying. Like, I watched a thing the other day, which was amazing. And even more annoying about this, it was made in the early 90s, like the video I watched, which was like, come on, fuck me. So it was about the electrical system that we use in pretty much every modern day society, from America to Canada to Europe. All the transponders outside are made by the government, but they don't match any transponder you could ever get in any equipment ever in your home. And this guy basically goes around the fucking country with this fucking thing of light bulbs that he's fucking made and a reader that reads input, voltage, amps, whatever the fuck he's reading. And basically, so he plugs their fucking plugs into the socket there, and he reads. He's getting like he's using like 17 volts or amps, or I forget what he was using. And then he uses this transponder that he's made that matches everything in the house. That works the same as the ones the government uses and runs things. And he runs on that, and he runs like 2 volts. Like, it's so fucking efficient. It's phenomenal. The amount of money that we pay for electricity is fucked. It's literally fraud. Like, how can you do that? How can you make something that willingly knowing it doesn't match anything in anyone's house that you're going to be plugging in and using, that's going to be running way more electricity than it has to?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. I mean,
why is that legal? I don't. If that's common knowledge, why is this legal? This guy's doing this back in the 90s.
Yeah.
And if you really do research on it,
that's
the reason Tesla was thrown out of his field. If you look into what Tesla was doing, he wanted to run on a certain system that would, if you put in 80% power, you'd get 80% power back.
Yeah.
And they went with a different. There was 4 guys that eventually made the company Telus that went with a different. We're like, fuck you, no way, because that's free electricity. Go fuck yourself. And apparently this is legal. How is this legal?
Yeah.
How have we come so far in our lives where we have these phones that do magical fucking shit? I'm like, soon my phone's going to be wiping my ass. But we can't figure out that these motherfuckers have transponders or whatever they're called, transformers outside that are completely fucking rigged to make sure that everything in my house is drawing way more fucking energy than it has to and sending more energy back to the fucking place where it came from. Why?
Yeah. I mean, that's
fucking
business
waste.
And corporation, and that's human
But how
greed.
is that legal?
Yeah.
I don't understand this. That's like, I don't even have a good fucking simile for that. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, I think you're starting to see some change. Like, I mean, if you look at Elon Musk, who is the founder of Tesla, the company that builds the electric cars, he's doing some good stuff. So, I mean, he has, like, for example, the solar roof tiles.
Yeah.
Right. So these can take more impact and better. You know, they can take more abuse than a standard tile, and they generate electricity, and it can give back to the grid.
Yeah, it's amazing. But fuck the grid altogether. Like, why aren't they changing these transformers? Like, fuck them. Like, why they need to make this legal? What they're doing, it's ruining the earth. How doing business like that?
Yeah.
That's an old style of doing business, and it's horseshit. You're basically ripping people fuck off every day to get ahead. And not only are you ripping us off, you're ripping off Mother Earth. You're making all this fucking energy, and most of it's coming back to your fucking station and being put where?
Yeah.
It's horseshit.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's the same with food and all that kind of stuff. But the fact that
it's going on so forwardly, and it's so like people fucking know about this. Like when I tell you, you're not fucking stunned.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh, I know.
I didn't know until I watched this guy from the 90s.
Yeah.
No one's ever fucking told me this. And I'm like, what?
There's all sorts of stuff. I mean, you can take a look. There's actually film footage, and it's funny because it's Jeremy Clarkson off Top Gear. You know, when people say that people can't manipulate the weather and all this kind of stuff, he goes and there is a place where they basically generate clouds.
Yeah.
And then he watches it rain, 5 minutes later on him, kind of thing. And I mean, it's like, but people constantly deny. I don't know why that is.
And then if you don't want to run on their systems, they find ways to make it illegal. Like I found out recently in Calgary, it's a bylaw. You're not allowed to collect water now on the side of your house in drums from rain.
I don't believe that's true because they gave out rain barrels from the city. Yeah.
In certain places, I heard that's a thing.
In certain cities, it might be, yes.
That's fucking
but Calgary, it's not. Calgary, you can collect rainwater. That's
fucking abysmal. That there's anywhere in the world where you can't collect rainwater. You fucking kidding me? Isn't that a human right?
Yeah.
A human right to collect fucking an element of water off of...
Yeah, I don't know the reason why they would not do it. I used to have a system in my old house where I had a series of barrels and all my irrigation was done through it. So, I mean...
I think at that point you're stretching your powerful finger when you're making rules like that.
Yeah.
Like they're trying
no, it's ridiculous. I mean, they're
trying to make it illegal for you to grow aloe vera in your house.
They're making illegal to
grow aloe vera in your house so that they can harness the market of aloe vera.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like, you're not allowed to brew beer. You're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to have chickens in your back.
Can't you brew beer now?
You can now, but like, I mean, you can't have, for example, you couldn't have I think you can't have chickens in Calgary or something like that, or you can't have a beehive.
Well, you saw that thing on Facebook too. Look at all those busts that are happening now about the driving on weed.
Yeah.
You saw that?
Yeah.
Which is what I was scared about, correct?
Yeah.
Those girls weren't even high.
Yeah.
They had blood tests. They'd never even been high.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is and
then
the video that you're referring to is from the States. Yeah. This guy was an expert in detecting, basically drugs.
How many cops are like that though? Oh my God.
Well, and that's the scary thing with this guy in particular. And I think he's been pulled from what I understand from doing that kind of stuff. But he had a test and it was based on, speech and eye movement and all that kind of stuff. And he would determine by looking at this person that they're high. And then it was funny because the girl's like, well, can't we go do a blood test or something like that? He's like, there's no magical test to tell you that it's high. So you tell me there's no scientific test to do it, but you can
And what's scary is that's happened to me in the past, being younger, being found with marijuana. I've even been told that, like, when I've had no weed on me, you're stoned, I know you're stoned, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's bullshit.
Yeah. Like I said, they have the technology now where they can swab the inside of your mouth and tell whether you've had...
But even that's bullshit.
But like I said, and I've said this before, and I think we had a big discussion on it before.
Can only be high.
Like basically impaired driving, there will have to be a test, right? In the case of the weed one, because there is such a large window, it's going to get complicated because they're going to have to draw blood, and then they're going to have to get warrants. And that's what I'm saying. It's going to be.
They just did a thing on their Twitter. They're trying to ask for more time now in Calgary before they legalize because they said they're not ready yet.
Yeah. Well, and they won't be ready for a long time.
Forever. And with the stupid laws, they won't be ready forever because it's a fucking stupid law.
Right? The thing is, too, is that, I mean, the stupid part is there are people that are smoking up and driving now, right? So, I mean, there are people that are driving impaired that are probably way too high to drive. But, it's not like it's changed. Like, it's not like when the date says that it's legal.
I'm going to be as honest as I can possibly be being a pot smoker. There is fucking times during the day where maybe I'm possibly too high to get behind the wheel. Yeah. Usually at nighttime when I've had way too fucking much to smoke. Yeah. But being an avid pot smoker that smoke it for medical use throughout the day, I don't feel like after a fucking joint I'm impaired to where I can't smoke a joint. And just like there's guys out there that can have 2 beers and they can drive. Yeah. I can't. I have fucking 2 beers. I wouldn't fucking get behind the wheel because I don't drink. And when I have 2 beers, it's not a good sight. Yeah. So... why I don't get the difference here. Like someone who drinks beer every day is allowed to have 2 beer and he's below the limit. Why the fuck is there like a 6-hour fucking ban on me driving after a joint? That's fucked in the head.
It's not a 6-hour ban. It's just because
I can't drive for 6 hours.
Yeah. What I'm saying is the technology that they use to swab basically detects THC within a 6-hour window, which is too
and I read
big.
the law. It says you cannot drive if it detects that. So that's 6 hours I'm banned for driving after I smoke a joint. Right. That's fucked.
Right. It goes too far. I don't think you're impaired necessarily at that point. It's not detecting levels necessarily.
In my opinion, if you are an avid smoker and you smoke 1 joint, you're not impaired at all.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't judge that.
Well, they should do road tests.
Right?
They should do tests like they've done on alcohol. Yeah. How much alcohol can I drink before I'm swerving? Yeah. They should do the same thing with marijuana. How much marijuana? Do road tests with someone who smokes marijuana, just like they did with drinking.
I think what they'll have to do is the roadside swab will be a means to detect whether or not you've used marijuana. And if they believe that you're seriously impaired, what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to go to the court. And it's a lot like drunk driving as well. And
but
they're going to have to get a blood
It's going to fuck your whole day now if you get caught. If you get swabbed within 6 hours of fucking having marijuana in your system, which is horse shit, now it's going to fuck your whole day because now you're going down to your car's going to get impounded. You have to go down to the fucking station, do further fucking tests. Then it could come out, oh, you smoked weed 6 hours ago. Well, we're not going to bust you. Great. Now I'm going to go get my fucking car out of impound, paid to get my car out of impound, which isn't fucking cheap. That's horse shit. Yeah. That's not a good system. That's shit. Yeah. That's a shit fucking system. Yeah. It should be if you are fucking swerving and they pull you over and you're under the fucking influence, we'll take you downtown. Yeah. If there is no cause to pull you over for swerving, they pull you over for a fucking broken back light and they see your eyes are fucking slightly red, or they notice that, like, I don't know what else they could fucking notice. That's the only thing they could possibly bust someone on, in my opinion, or you're nervous. Like, I've seen people actually being like, oh, you're high, you seem nervous. It's like, fuck you, you're a cop. You guys are dicks. Of course I'm fucking nervous. Yeah. But in my opinion, if you were pulled over for swerving, the same as drink driving, you don't pull me over. I've never been pulled over. Like, the government's been pulled over many times for speeding. They've never come to the window and been like, are you drunk? But that's what it's going to be like when you're fucking with this new weed policy. As soon as weed's legalized, the cops are going to be all about weed. Every bus they've ever had is going to be about weed because everyone's going to be fucking doing it. Because it's going to be, if it's recreational, it's going to blow up. People love to smoke fucking weed. It's just the way it is. Okay, you get some people that don't, but of all the drugs, just like coffee, people like to have a joint.
Yeah. But in reality, if you're doing it responsibly, there shouldn't be an issue. I
feel like if you're driving normally and you're pulled over for another reason, like broken tail light or you missed a fucking this or that, I don't feel like you should be like able to be swabbed.
Yeah.
I feel like it should be like, oh, this person looks like they're fucking drunk driving. It's the same thing if I'm swerving and I'm not...
Well, if you're swerving all over the road and you can't keep your lane and stuff like that and you get pulled over...
And I think they need to do proper tests on this as well, just like they've done with alcohol, because I don't believe that one joint can impair you.
And that's what I'm saying. The swab will be a roadside detection test, much like the initial
but fuck
breath.
The swab. I think like they should just do the sign, because the swab's fucking people's day. I'm trying not to get people's day fucked.
Yeah.
I don't want to be pulled over, swabbed, and then have my day fucked because I smoked 6 hours ago. Fuck that.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, in reality, in a perfect world, what should happen is if you're driving like an idiot, right? You get pulled over and they suspect that you've been drinking or smoking. They'll probably take a look and it's like, okay, he's showing that he's drunk. We'll give him the roadside breathalyzer. If you pass that, off you go, right? If you don't pass it, then it's on to stage 2. Same thing. If you're, driving like an idiot, you get pulled over and it's like, it looks like he's high as fuck, and they swab and they detect it, then you go on to phase 2, which would obviously be a blood test, and then determine if that level is high enough.
But that's the horseshit thing about it, the blood test.
There's got to be something.
There's got to be, but there's got to be a different way.
I will say this about people. People in this world are not responsible enough to actually go out and do stuff. I mean, look what happened with me in my Jeep. I was going home from work, and Buddy was completely blitzed out of his mind, throws his car into reverse, backs up 30 feet in front. He was drunk.
Yeah, but it's not weed. Like, people do this now. There's no hardcore law right now. You don't get swabbed right now. I know people that smoke weed and drive all fucking day. They don't crash.
Right.
If you drink all day and drive, you will fucking crash. Right. And the laws aren't as strict on drinking as they're going to be on smoking. It makes no fucking sense. Yeah. I know you've never smoked.
Yeah.
And I don't expect you to understand.
No.
But it's not the same fucking feeling. You don't get... my vision doesn't go. You don't get... It's not impaired driving. Yeah. It's only when if you're fucking dabbing like hardcore fucking shatter. And like, there's been times that buddies around my house and they get too high and they're like, I can't feel like I can drive right now. It's a different kind of drug. Alcohol, you're fucking wasted. You're making shitty decisions. You get behind the wheel because of those shitty decisions. When you're high, you're scared of shitty decisions.
Yeah.
You're sitting on the couch like, not going to drive right now.
If you're scared of shitty decisions when you're high, then it probably is not going to be a big issue.
There's not many crashes in Calgary that they've blamed on marijuana. Yeah. And you can go and look through the files and see how many there's not many.
Right.
There's 1 or 2 where they might have been like, oh, there's smell of marijuana in the car. But, I've even drove with kids. It's not a fearful thing.
Yeah.
It's for me, and I'm so against drunk driving because I don't believe in putting other people's lives at risk. It's fucking horseshit.
Yeah.
But I believe if you're under the influence of one joint, you're probably more cautious than someone that is under the influence of no weed, because you're invested in driving when you're stoned and driving. You're not invested in your iPhone. You're not invested in music. You're usually invested in driving, because that's the point of weed. It helps you concentrate. For someone like me who smokes medically for ADHD, it helps me concentrate. It helps me concentrate on one thing than 8 different things. Yeah. And I don't think it has the same effects as the drugs that they're saying you can drive on. Caffeine's a fucking drug, but there's no fucking law against how much caffeine I can drink and then drive. It's fucking dumb. Look at the jitters my friends get from drinking 8 fucking Monsters a fucking day.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah, exactly. But there's no law against fucking that.
Yeah.
And that's a high-class fucking drug.
Yeah.
It's annoying me that they're putting such restrictions on such a lightweight drug.
Yeah.
Because no one understands, because they just want to.
It's like they don't even have reasons. It's because it's new, and it's because it was illegal.
Caffeine was new once. It never had restrictions.
Yeah.
And our kids are fucking doing it. See 16-year-olds waiting at fucking Starbucks on their lunch break.
See, that's not good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And yet we're all these restrictions on marijuana. It's like, take her fucking easy for a minute, mate. Like, and actually do some tests on the road with people that are smoking weed.
Yeah. Which they will have to do. And like I said, there's going to be a big court thing. I'm sure there'll be lots of challenges to what comes out.
Yeah, stay safe when this first happens. Don't just go nuts, because they're going to be cracking down on people hard for even going out of the parameters a little bit.
You bet.
So, you smoking a joint and then go on a fucking drive. Have fun with that, because it'll fuck your whole day.
So anyways, thanks for tuning in.
I'm Lloyd.
I'm JD.
Peace.
See ya.